Well, as part of our Proudly Canadian Week, it's time to check out the best of Canadian films, and we tell you where you can watch them. Matt Demers, Mr. Hollywood, is here to tell us some of his top picks. Thanks for joining us today.
Well, I love this time of year because we get to discover the talent that's right here in Canada and look at some of the great films that are out there. My first one is a gem. If you're a superhero fan, you got to check out Code 8.
I need time to work him. How do you want to live in this life? Let's go. Hide our powers. Everybody on the ground! If you see something that you want, take it. I've been tracking this one electric across multiple crimes.
I am immediately intrigued. Tell me more.
Absolutely. You'll recognize some of the people here. Robbie Amell, Stephen Amell, the Amell cousins are in this one. It's a dystopian future. 4% of the population have supernatural powers. Some people use it for good, and some people not so much. But this one's on Netflix, and it actually has a sequel. But this is really wonderful stuff, sci-fi, superhero action from a great Canadian team.
That looks really good and enticing. I feel like superhero movies and shows have really taken off over the last decade or so.
Absolutely. And what's great about this genre is you can take it in different directions. This one's more grounded. This is a little more gritty than what you might get used to in the MCU or in those DC movies. So, yeah, I really like this.
Oh, well, we love that, kicking it off strong. All right, what do you got for your second pick?
Okay, so I don't think we have any audio for our next movie because there's a few issues with language, but doesn't mean it's not good for adults. It's called Fubooar.
And I think that's the best. The sound bites are going to be purposely moved out of this one.
Well, you'll hear lots of beeps if we do play it. That's all it would be because these guys are foul-mouthed, but they're so much fun. This is mockumentary stuff. You got these Albertan headbangers, and they're just, Terry and Dean are their names, and they're just out to, live their life. It's all about friendship. It's all about coming into adulthood. They're kind of maturing, but this is fun and just wacky, wild, funny stuff.
I love it because even just from the clips that you can see here, you can anticipate what they might be talking about or going on with the feature. So that's always really cool. Another one that you have for us is available on Crave.
That's right. This one's from David Cronenberg called Scanners.
I would like to scan all of you in this room, one at a time. I must remind you that the scanning experience is usually a painful one, sometimes resulting in nosebleeds, earaches, stomach cramps, nausea, sometimes other symptoms of a similar nature. At this point, I'd like to call.
So a little ominous, and we're going kind of back in time for this one.
That's right. So this one will take you to 1981. But Cronenberg, he's the master of these kind of body horror, kind of twisted movies, Will. And this one's right up there. This is, there's a classic scene where heads literally explode on screen, which is burned in my memory. But Cronenberg, take your pick. Crave's actually got a lot of his filmology on there. So this one is all about psychic abilities and trying to take down a mysterious organization.
Super cool. And again, some of those old school movies like that, it's always nice to come back to. And you say, exploding heads. How can you not be interested?
What more do you need for Canada Day? Okay, our next one, speaking of Canada Day, you got to put on some great music. And this is a documentary. It's called Long Time Running.
It's just a dream. It was the best I've ever felt on stage. I want the shows to go on forever.
How perfect was that headline, strong to be Canadian?
Absolutely. Gord Downie, this was his final tour with the Tragically Hip. It's all documented here. It's going to move you, but also the music, it'll stay with you. Just wonderful, touching stuff here in this wonderful documentary.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will be really interested in that one. And of course, and then when you hear the songs through the documentary, you almost kind of think about, oh my gosh, there's so many good tracks.
Goosebumps is what you'll get watching and listening to this one.
Oh, I love that. And for our final one today, we are going into the tech world.
That's right. And this is actually my favorite Canadian movie of all time. Yeah, that's right. It's called Blackberry.
We are in a race to get this thing to market, and we are a year behind. I need a prototype.
I'll do it perfectly, or I don't do it.
Mike, are you familiar with the saying, perfect is the enemy of good?
Well, good enough is the enemy of humanity. What do you call it?
It's called a Blackberry.
Huh. Try typing with your thumbs.
And with Canadian Jay Baershaw.
That's right. Great cast in here. Our director, Matt Johnson, nails it. This is about the rise and the catastrophic fall of the Blackberry phone. And it's just, you know, there's so much energy in this movie, the way it's put together, the way it's edited. But it's fascinating to look at what really happened, what really transpired behind the scenes. And like you said, Jay Baershaw in here, and Glenn Howerton is also fantastic.
And it's so cool, right? Because Blackberry took over, and it's hard to believe that it had that rise and then the quick fall. It's so that is definitely going to be an intriguing movie to watch.
Absolutely. I think take your pick for any one of these will be for a great Canadian watch.
Yeah, well, Mr. Hollywood, we really thank you for your time today, giving us 5 different options to be proudly Canadian on the TV.
Absolutely. Thanks, Will.